Welcome back. As the trial nears for the Delhi gang rape, one of the key accused is now planning to plead that he too is a minor so that he can escape stringent punishment. As a juvenile, he'd get away with 3 years. It's intensified the debate on whether the age for juveniles in this country should be lowered from 18 to 16. While the police say it should, given the high crime rates, activists strongly disagree. Here's why.
Arrested a month ago, but now he too may not be tried along with the other accused for the Delhi gang rape. Already, one of the accused, whose role is alleged to have been the most heinous, has produced documents to show he is a juvenile. Now this man, a gym instructor, and who, according to the police, is 20, has claimed he is under 18. And if he can prove it, he will be tried by the Juvenile Justice Board.
Juvenile Justice Act says if the age proof are contradictory, then auspicious test must be done by the as per order of the Honorable Court. So I moved application in this regard on behalf of Binay Sharma for auspicious test of the bony age X-ray.
But even as the Juvenile Justice Board hears this case, is the Juvenile Justice Act actually encouraging some to take advantage of the law? And is it time to plug the loopholes?
As per the Juvenile Justice Act, even if a juvenile is convicted of murder or gang rape, the punishment ranges from counselling while staying with his family, or performing community services, or paying a fine, to a maximum of 3 years at a reformatory. But after the Delhi gang rape, there is a demand to change several laws, including the Juvenile Justice Law.
The main issue there is, what should be the age of a juvenile? Should it be 16? Should it be 14 or should it be 18? The Delhi police feels that it should be 16.
On the other hand, the ministry wants the age to stay at 18 years. However, they do say that the December 16 gang rape qualifies as the rarest of cases, which is why they want the boy to be given a harsh punishment.
If we bring down this age from 18 to 16, which means that this most sensitive and most formulative age will be subjected to the criminal justice system. So anybody in that age group will not have a second opportunity.
After the Delhi gang rape case, a panel headed by Justice Verma is looking at suggestions to change laws related to rape and changing the juvenile law. With Tanima Biswas in New Delhi, Anusya Mathur for NDTV.
So should the age be lowered for juvenile crime? Should juveniles, should it be lowered from 18 to 16? That's something we've been talking about for several weeks, ever since this ghastly rape happened, but it's come back to center stage again. We have Dr. Achal Bhagat, the Director of the Division of Metro Health at Medanta and Chairperson of Sarthak. We have Atiya Bose, who runs an NGO called Angan and has been working on this issue for years now. Lawyer and columnist Satvik Verma is with us and will be joined shortly by Mr. KTS Tulsi, who's a senior advocate with the Supreme Court. Atiya Bose, let me ask you first. The police said last week in their press conference that given the high crime rates, we feel that there are more and more people in the juvenile bracket between 16 and 18 who are committing crimes, and therefore maybe the time has come to lower that age. And if you look at some of the statistics, they do sound a bit scary. 188% jump from 2010 to 2011 in the number of rape cases committed, for instance, between 16 to 18-year-olds. Many would argue that that makes a compelling case for saying that 16-year-olds are adults.
I think the first thing that we have to remember, though, is that these numbers that we're talking about, the entire juvenile justice, children in conflict with law in 2011 was 32,000 or 33,000 children. So even when we talk about these alarming numbers, it's not like there's some epidemic out there of predatory youth who are, just taking over the whole space. So I do think it's really important for us to remember that across the country, we're talking about 32,000 people. Speaking to the 16 to 18-year-olds, yes, we do absolutely find that the largest number of children within the juvenile justice system are from that age group. But that's not actually very surprising, because scientific evidence now actually shows that children in that age group, the very age group that we're seeking to exclude from the Act, are actually children who are most vulnerable to sort of criminal behavior because of the way the adolescent brain develops, because of the way in which the adolescent seeks thrill-seeking and is unable to have very good risk assessment and is most susceptible to peer pressure. That is it's children between 16 and 18 are at the height of their arousability, and they don't have the self-regulation mechanisms
Which is
yet.
why you're saying that
Which
that's
is why
the
we're
reason
saying,
you shouldn't lower
Which
the
is why
age.
we're saying that backs up what the UNCRC said. Why it backs up why the UNCRC set the age at 18. It wasn't just some number that was pulled out of a magician's hat. It was a number that was considered, and that had a lot of research that went into it. And now I think we're finding scientific evidence is backing that up. So it would seem a bit regressive for India that in 2000 changed the law. Our law up to 2000 said
16,
held,
yeah,
right,
and
we changed the law.
So is it an emotional reaction, Satvik, that obviously this gang rape has horrified and sickened all of us, and we don't want to see someone get away on a technicality that he was 17 years and X months old when he did this, and it was horrific what he did. But when we make demands for a change in the entire law, then do we have to be careful, because it impacts many more people?
No, I think you make a very good point. Do we have to change the law? Couple of points. I think, first and foremost, in adversity always lies an opportunity. At this moment, and it's not possible for me to comment, the Supreme Court is seized of the matter. There's a PIL that's been filed. The Supreme Court has issued notice on the 18th. It's said that it's going to take a relook. Now, as far as this child is concerned, it's important for us to bear in mind that unless, and I'm not sure how they will, the law as it stands, and there's a constitutional bar under Article 20, that the age has to be based on the age at the time of the offense. This particular person, whether we like it or not, however heinous his role had been, he is going to be tried as a juvenile. So that's the first response. The second, to what Ms. Bose was saying, I think out of the 33,800 odd cases that were reported under the NCRB data, 64%, so almost 23,000 were between 16 and 18%, which tells us two things. One, that there's something wrong, as we were discussing, with the preventive process. There's something wrong with the preventive process. But two, also, the society has changed. Therefore, the brain is maturing a lot faster, and they are now a lot,
You think they're much more aware at 16?
They're absolutely much more aware. And the other point, the last point I have to make is, even countries that have signed the UNRC, the regulation on the rights of a child, make exceptions for heinous crimes. So I think a good way would be not necessarily to reduce the law, to reduce the age, but to make an exception within that age for the heinous crimes.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.